round robin, day number 3. It's the Calgary Chill playing their final game against Team Nova Scotia. This is a big matchup determining those second and third seeded places in the standings. As we get you set for today's game, Chris and Matt will call today's game as we take a peek at our players to watch all game long, starting with Nova Scotia. Bobby Green, number 18 for the white and blue. 5 goals already in this tournament in only 2 games. But he's also a nifty forward who can move the ball on any side of the floor. Other side of the floor for Team Calgary and the Chill, we're going to look at a player who wears number 45. And Calgary, of course, we're talking about Parker Hughes. Hughes, a big right-handed shot, 1 goal, but look at the assist column. 6 helpers to his name, 7 points in only 2 games. I'm going to send things upstairs, and we'll take a peek at our starting goaltenders. Here is the men who call today's game, Chris and Matt.
Chris Susi upstairs here. Chris, of course, with Nova Scotia Lacrosse, and I'm with the JVI Sports Network, bringing you free coverage of the Founders Cup today, presented by the Toronto Rock Elite League. As we look at this game, as Spencer said, the Calgary Chill come in with a 1-1 record. Nova Scotia 1-1, battling for second and third place here in Group Number A. As here's our starting goaltenders. Ben Faulkner returns to the pipes after getting a day off yesterday. A much smaller goaltender, but he's been pretty impressive in the tournament so far.
Played great for us the first game against Gales.
We'll see what he can do here against Calgary. 2 teams that have had a pretty good tournament so far. Our first look, though, at Blake Tajiri as he comes in without stats. And it'll be interesting to see what he can do here against a Nova Scotia squad that's been getting stronger as this tournament rolls on. We go back to Ben Faulkner here, is much smaller, like we said, compared to some of the goaltenders we've seen in this tournament. But what's going to be the key for him, especially, he moves very well in the crease, makes some pretty good saves.
He's a little ninja out there. He's just jumping around, but he made a lot of big saves, especially at the later stages of the game. The team came together at the end, too. That was the first game of the tournament. Like I said, these guys don't play together all year like every other team in this tournament. So it was an adjustment period to the speed. A lot of breakaways go in the second half of the first period, in that game. So it'll be interesting to see how he does today.
2 very good teams that have been coming on strong over the past day and a half or so as they get set to do battle for second place in Group A standings. We'll take a quick timeout and we'll be back with game action. Game number 2 of day number 3 of the 2016 Founders Cup on the JVI Sports Network. Join the premier winter box lacrosse league in Canada. 24-game regular season allows players to keep their skills sharp all year round. Rock Elite League has professional coaching from NLL players and coaches, NLL rules and officials. Yes, kids, that means crease dives, air gates, and dunk shots are allowed in Rock Elite League action. That's usually what the minor kids' eyes light up when they get told they're allowed to do that on offense. But visit rockeliteleague.com. They are graciously helping us out this afternoon to provide all 4 games free of charge here on our YouTube channel. Founders Cup 2016. Spencer Tangway is downstairs. Chris Susi joins me. I'm Matthew Carrick in for our crew, as this is the game we've kind of been highlighting is going to be good for the day, as Team Nova Scotia comes in 1-1. So does Calgary. Goal differential means nothing. You have to win to move on and claim second spot in the Group A standings, and we're underway with a face-off violation. This is going to be a very interesting matchup indeed as we get you set up for the rest of day number 3 here in Orangeville. Immediately calling for the push of the pace as it's brought down as Chris Mallett through the middle, and that one bounces through. Blake Tajiri, we talked about it in the opener, Chris, his first taste of action at this tournament, and that one fooled him as it bounced around.
That's it, the kid pulled through. That's Chris Mallett, he's 15 years old. Playing like a 20 out there. Big strip, big loose ball.
As we see if we get another look here. Watch this ball bounce around in the crease as Mallett, I think that he was trying to shovel the pass over to the crease man, but hey, it's going to work out.
Good bounce.
You said you and I talked about Mallett yesterday. And he's had a very strong tournament, the youngster. Of course, if you haven't joined our coverage, you can check our YouTube channel and our playlist for games 1 through 9 now, as this is game 10 in the tournament. Another cut from our player to watch, Bobby Green, the captain of this Nova Scotia team.
4 goals yesterday against Saskatchewan.
A huge day for him. We saw a hat come out of the stands for number 3.
Turnover.
As the Calgary player falls in another breakaway opportunity here, and Tajiri gets the right shoulder up and sends that one into the corner, but it's recovered by Nova Scotia. And Brendan Sanderson wants to slow things down now, use the shot clock. It's played back up top.
Nova Scotia right now, we only have 16 runners. We brought 17. One went down the second shift of the game, Ryan Hebert. So we got 16 runners now, so we got to use our shot clocks.
A number of these teams starting to get real banged up. We saw a couple players from Saskatchewan leaving the arena on crutches after their 11 a.m. game. Of course, all times Eastern. I guess we're just past 3 o'clock in Nova Scotia.
Yeah. Closing
in on lunch hour in Calgary. So we're glad to have all of you with us here, joining us live on YouTube. As Calgary comes off the bench, down the far side, their first real chance at offense here, and we've played 2 minutes in. Another errant pass, but a sandwich hit, and that's going to send the Calgary player off. Staggered a little bit as a crease play here. Faulkner, his first real test, as I don't even know if they've registered a shot on goal yet, has Calgary.
I think there's got one there. That's Trey Carvery.
And Carvery gets the noisemakers out again.
He's playing a different role today. He was playing transition yesterday. Today we put him out the back door. He's going to play defense only, but we told him to feel free to run the ball up, and as you saw there, ran it all the way down.
But Carvery had a good game as well, as we get a call for a wipe down, and a couple players going nose to nose. As Kurt Drabel's in there, Adam Connor. Can't quite get a number on the Calgary player, but here's a look at Group A. This is where our focus will be after Game 9, which we saw this morning. The Green Gills finish a perfect 3-0, and they'll get top spot. They'll play at 11 a.m. tomorrow, and Saskatchewan awaiting their opponent. They finish 0-3. As they will play in the 8 p.m. game tomorrow, either Seneca or Orangeville in the crossover game. And here is Group B. Orangeville Seneca will be our primetime matchup as both of those two teams have a perfect record, looking for that coveted primetime spot tomorrow in the first stage of the medal round games. Coquitlam, Manitoba later today, looking for their first wins of the tournament.
Manitoba's a good team from what I saw. They're in that tough division, the B division.
Well,
what would you call it?
We labeled it, to use the soccer term, the group of death.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty hard to advance from that one.
Yeah, we're fortunate. We're in Group A here.
Manitoba's played very good lacrosse in this tournament, but as we said, unfortunately stacked up against Coquitlam and Seneca. Seneca, that thrilling overtime victory against Coquitlam yesterday, they got a bit of a scare.
That was an interesting game. I'm not sure what the BC player was thinking running through in front of his own net. One hand on the stick, got stripped. 9 seconds left, and they buried it.
Hindsight's always 20/20, I guess, as Tremblay will put this one back to the crease after the violation. A lot of contact on the changes here. Benches are pretty close together, as are the doors, and a few times now we've seen a little knock here ahead of the stick on the elbow there.
Both teams have to be careful there. The refs warned everybody before the tournament in a meeting saying anything's going to be five minutes around the benches. So, because in the rink it's they're very tight. There's about maybe a foot separating each one.
Just for clarity purposes for our viewers at home, Nova Scotia, of course, wearing the Nova Scotia flag-adorned white jerseys and working left to right with the blue numbers. And the darker black jerseys with the navy blue numbers is the Calgary Chill. I think perhaps if Alex Taylor goes down there, we may get a call, and we will get a call, as it's the hold after the fact, or a high stick, pardon me, coming to the Calgary Chill, and they'll go off. A bit of a rough start for Calgary here, as they had a really good first game, a bit lackluster yesterday, and then rough start here. But this is a Nova Scotia team, we've talked about it the last couple days, that just continues to get better and better as this one rolls along.
That's the plan.
Here's Bobby Green. His right side, Connor Acanio. Up top for Green. Back for Acanio. And Green again. He'll try that sub shot. 4 goals from that exact same spot, that exact same way yesterday.
Yeah.
But not to me this time, as Tajiri gets the stick on it.
His confidence through the roof right now, so hopefully he keeps firing the ball because he can shoot.
10-second violation. The shot clock's at 22. And the Calgary bench arguing that one. And referee Rob Cook will remind the bench that it's his count and not the shot clock that counts. Neil McDonald, the other official on the floor.
Neil is a walking rule book. I got so much respect for that man. He'll tell you what page, what number, what situation it is.
Alex Taylor from the outside will make it 3-0 here on the power play with the Calgary captain in the box. And now the flag's coming to life. There's been a lot of good fans here, and obviously the Orangeville Northmen fans have packed this building, but Chris, I gotta give credit to the Nova Scotia faithful who've made the trek out here. When they've been in the house, there's been a lot of noise in this building.
Yeah, they got their noisemakers out and lots of flags. Lots of fans because it is hot in here. This is the hottest day so far, I'd say. What is it, 30 outside?
Yeah, we talked about that in the first game. The first day without rain and a humidity factor, but the heat is picked up. So I guess, as they say, a different kind of heat in the building here today.
Yeah, we're used to that Nova Scotia fog.
28 and counting outside. And by our 8 p.m. game, we're being told it should be down to about 22 Celsius. But by that time, it's going to be a lot more in here. And as we've learned, it's going to take a lot to get the heat out of the building as the bench comes to life again, as they've drawn another penalty. This time it'll be a slash to the Chill. And we'll go 6 attacker set before that for the Nova Scotia. In the corner to the captain, here's Bobby Green. A lot of talking from this Calgary set, the real field game, calling where the ball is, either up top, top left, top right.
Yeah, we noticed that too.
And it's all 6 on the floor, including the goaltender.
Yeah. Well, whatever works for you.
Not something you hear a lot in box. It is
No.
it is more of a field style of call, but
Yeah, I personally don't like doing it just because it's another distraction. It is a field lacrosse thing. That's all right. The defense should know where the ball is.
seem to be okay for them so far. They still have the positive goal differential coming in, but of course that means nothing. It's just the tick in the win column to be decided today. Oh, look at Tajiri down the floor, but the captain was tied up, and there's going to be another slash here, and possession to Calgary. It looked like, I'm not sure who that is. Mackenzie Smith, I believe, the captain for the Chill. Looked like he was getting the majority of the talking to, but the Chill end up with the ball, and they've got a chance to kill a minute and 30 here with the shot clock turned off. As the shot comes through, and more cross-checking to the right of Faulkner. That's probably the first shot he's had to see straight on in this game, as we've now played 6.5 minutes. Couple return walks up top as the power play set gets settled in here for Nova Scotia. No look pass from Green, finds the cutter as Taylor comes in. Big sandwich play in the corner, and another door pops up, and the Nova Scotia player goes through the door on a return stick play.
Dirty shot in there.
Everybody was worried about the door, and no one really noticed the half spear almost down in the corner. But it looks like they've secured that door now. Second time we've seen a door pop open, and it's a weird door. Nobody's used that one or the one down in this corner to our left.
They might use it at night, but even then, there's this second game of the day. They haven't figured it out.
Here's Green. And the ball recognition yells continue to echo through the Alder Street Arena as Tajiri makes the save. Does the pirouette looking for it, but it bounced in place with no English just off to his right. Free lacrosse for the third day in a row here on the JVI Sports Network. Our thanks to the Rock Elite League. As a triple team coming through now on the ball carrier, Faulkner forced into a save. As this one rolls into the corner, Mallet takes his man hard into the boards. But Calgary still regains it, and the dive shot taking flight and scoring, Jake Gillis. What a great way to put your team on the board there. That's a pretty goal. The yellow-soled shoes.
I think
it's actually Joe Gardner.
Yeah, Joe Gardner. His brother plays Peterborough Senior A. He's one of the players to watch for them for sure. You'll see, we'll have a shadow on him.
Well, had a pretty good one on him on this play. Mallet almost catches up.
Yeah.
But Mallet looking for the stick check. It arrives just a little bit early as holding on to the shot. Great awareness for Joe Gardner as we get our first wipe down of the contest. We've got microphones all throughout the arena here, and I guess maybe that's our penalty box one has picked something up. We apologize for that. We are live here in Alder Street Arena. Not sure if you folks at home heard that or not, but as we said, a lot of mics, and some are coming just to us and some go to you at home, so we do apologize if anything does sneak through. Jake Gillis to the far side. Send it all the way back up top as there's an open Chill player out there. A lot more movement now as that goal seems to have energized the Calgary bench, but it's going to skip away and bounce it straight to Kirk Drabble. As he'll send to the far side. Drabble brought his own fan club as Dad proudly waves the Nova Scotia flag, except today he's taped it under the tunnel so the players can go underneath it as they take to the floor.
Yeah, Kirk and he was our assistant coach this year with the midget team. It's a great kid.
Tajiri
First year junior. Wearing the A this year. He's got a great head on his shoulders. His sister's here cheering on somewhere too. Brought the whole family.
Family affair.
That's it.
Here for Team Nova Scotia. We'll see Team Manitoba later on. We saw a family affair for Saskatchewan. The Nash brother and sister team. The Bullock brothers. Ooh. Things are chippy down there, man. I don't know what these guys had for breakfast, and now this is going to draw the attention of Calgary as the Nova Scotia player went after the goaltender who was out of the crease. As Nova Scotia has the ball down. Gaëtan Tremblay will get the restart off the minor interference. Calgary looks to be the more feisty of the two teams. Oh, another pirouette now from Tajiri. This time he gets the back of the stick on it to whack it away. And we've got slash battle in front. Mallet teamed up with somebody. That's a dude that I don't think I'd want to tangle with.
He's not gonna
man
back
bun
down.
or not, I don't think I want any part of that.
No man bun.
Yeah, not today. If you missed our broadcast yesterday, the locks flowing out, the knee socks. That is a lacrosse player look right there for Mallet. You said 15?
15 years old, yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yep.
As Torrin Ecclestone, though, over on the crease for Calgary. He puts one through. As Mallet was a late arrival on scene, but the play has seemed to be all Nova Scotia so far, but it's a 3-2 score as we approach the halfway mark of period number 1. Nobody picks up the man on the crease to the left of Faulkner.
Yeah.
And that's a goal for Calgary, looking for the equalizer here as straight down the pipe off the faceoff. This one goes high as Dakota Wright brought that one in. Parker Hughes, our player to watch, starts the counterattack. Up top for Tate Katoni, a great tournament for Katoni, and there it is, barreled into the goaltender afterwards. Little help from Grant Blackman, but put it on the board, 3-3 tie, and now we may have something here in the crease. This contact with Faulkner, there is the signal from Neil McDonald. It is a goal, and we'll see if there's anything extra afterwards. Stone around the corner, and he gets help, a lot of help after the fact. Officials are over at the penalty box. It doesn't look like anybody's headed over there. Trent Bray, the third official, by the way, out of the First Nations League.
That guy had nothing to do with the goal. We have goalie change.
Yeah, Faulkner coming out.
Like I said, Ben Faulkner, he was a late addition to the squad. He probably had a shorter leash than normally on this game. Like I said, it's a must-win. That's probably a goal he could have had once back, but Aiden, he's been ready to play. So
Aiden Piero, a nice game yesterday, but coming in cold here today. Definitely a lot bigger in the size department than Faulkner, as he was huge for Nova Scotia yesterday in the victory over the Saskatchewan SWAT, who tried to get momentum the entire way but just couldn't do it, as Saskatchewan sitting behind the just off center floor, more a little bit behind the Calgary bench here, taking this one in.
first star of this game is going to be Jeremy Bailey when he brings us a couple fans. He said he went to Walmart to get a couple fans for the boys.
Boy.
Yeah.
Talk about a guy that knows the rule book, what page things are on. You
Yeah.
should see the shape that guy's is in.
Yeah. He was referee in chief the few times that I was refereeing at Nationals. Great guy.
It is well read. Good fan of the JVI Sports Network as well. We've emailed him a few times about various rule and policy nuances.
Yeah.
As we've had to go through that in Junior A this year. We had an appeal in the standings.
He was giving me crap because I wasn't giving him a shout out. I didn't know he's been watching our games. I said, you should have told me. So we'll give him first star of the game today if he brings fans.
Yeah, there you go.
Make up for it.
From the outside, Calgary all the way back to lead now. As that one gets through, Aiden Piero. Piero caught maybe a little bit deep in his net. That one came through a crowd. Not sure who scored it. Perhaps PJ Gardner.
He's another player to watch on Calgary. He's got that orange head.
Huge rip from outside. As more jostling for position on the Calgary side of the faceoff line. They'll restart. Clean win for Calgary. A couple whacks on the ball carrier as Alex Taylor down the far side. 4-3 game, 9 minutes left to play. On the crease, no goal, the violation. Oh, we'll have to get another look at that as
yes, please.
Looked like Bobby Green. Chris wants to throw the flag up here from the booth.
I do. That was Dalton Brown, I think.
They're shoving each other back in close to the crease and more contact in on Piero as the ball's in the neutral zone of center floor. Green now comes off. As it's up top, Tate Katoni with the orange head on the stick, the most recent goal scorer. Incorrectly identified him as PJ Gardner as here's Katoni again. Piero not sure where it is. Rebound is in the corner as Piero's still looking for it. One of his defenders came in behind him to play road hockey goalie, but his service is not needed as Grant Blackman returns to the bench. Up top, Matt Wilson now. Streaking off the bench, Alex Taylor with speed. He's going to go straight into the middle of the fire. It's played back for Dalton Brown, spinning away. Pushed into the corner by Matt Wilson. Wilson has one on him. They go all the way to the near side, one-on-one as Connor Clanyo takes it to the net. And a funny hop in on Tajiri. He's forced into an awkward save. 7.5 in a very exciting already match here for second place in Group A, as Nova Scotia and Calgary both have a 1-1 record through the first 2 days of play. Here comes the shot that Piero makes the save on the right side. The shooter filled in afterwards. Played up onto the boards. These dark on dark jerseys, a little bit hard to pick up the numbers, but we know the orange-headed stick of Tate Katoni on the far side now as Mallet goes up on him. Here's the shot. And it's a rip from Katoni, goes off the stanchion and straight down as Katoni and Mallet had words as they were headed off. Trey Carver, he brings it up to center. Back for Clanyo. Clanyo into the corner, slips now. Gets back up, recovers his feet, trying to split the defense. Couple nice slides by the defenders as they sealed off everything. Pick and roll trying to develop now. And nothing will get done for, Gaetan Tremblay. And Nova Scotia players already taking seats in front of that fan, getting some water. As we see most of the Calgary bench still standing. You talked about the short bench. You talked about the quick turnaround time for Nova Scotia. And Calgary, I guess everybody in this tournament in the hot conditions, as this has been a frantic pace to period number one. This may become a war of attrition here. This one bears down. Brett Draper.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You got to use every shot clock, use a full 30, let the defense rest while the offense does some work, and vice versa.
And bouncing around a few quick bounces in front of Tajiri again before he gets it in the stick. Kept alive down the far side is Katoni. Pick and roll there as the late defender and then hit in the crease. Jake Gillis rolls through, and that will hand the ball back to Calgary here. Parker Hughes, our player to watch. Pick and roll, two-man game with Ben Foster, pardon me, as somehow that one finds its way through Piero as the shot gets in and momentum just took it over the line, and now it is 5-3 as Calgary putting a run together here. Still, looks like all the exciting plays happen in the net, the end to our right, but Tajiri's getting some good bounces, and Just shots finding their way in here for Calgary. Here's the one you wanted, Chris, the crease violation.
Yeah, I guess so.
I thought it was closer than that, but if you like it, I'll take it.
Yeah. You don't get any style points on that? Spinorama?
It was pretty to watch.
Yeah.
But so far, nothing on the board. 3 quick goals from Nova Scotia, but the next 5 go the way of Calgary. As we're now within the last 5 minutes of period number 1. Fast break here from Dakota Wright. Takes it in, puts the brakes on and scores. Recognizing it's Bobby Green back on defense. He's one of those players that look tired. Already looks like he's gasping there under that face mask. Bobby Green looks tired here. 15 minutes into this one.
This intermission can't come fast enough for Nova Scotia. Some adjustments need to be made, need a rest. I don't know what's up.
Off the face-off, a couple more dance moves, and that's going to be an odd man break. Defenders just look flat-footed here, 4.5 to play. And this has been Nova Scotia's time slot throughout the tournament. We talked about some teams. The organizers have done a pretty good job keeping everybody. The BC teams haven't been playing super early in the morning to get them out of their comfort zone, and they've all been kind of around the same time frame for each team, which can be a concern, jumping time zones and the quick release and everything. As a bump there, the door was open a little bit, and one of the minor players actually got knocked in. We saw the door called before. As your coach looks like he's favoring the finger there a little bit, but
That's Harry Baker. He's the goaltending coach. He's actually a trout fisherman.
by trade?
A trout fisherman.
Yeah, that's his job.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, full time.
Wow. I don't want a fan hookup. I want to talk to that guy.
Yeah.
High stick coming here to Calgary as Connor Aquania was taken down. This could be the break that Nova Scotia needs to get momentum back on their side as Green signaled back, and he looked like he said, "Do you want timeout?" And Bobby Green now goes to the official and says yes, as Brandon Sanderson will get the clipboard out here.
Big power play. Definitely need one here. I mean, it's not out of control. It's 6-3, right? Like 3 goals is nothing, but we need some momentum back going.
And still
Nova Scotia's
40 minutes left to go.
Why am I drinking coffee? It's so hot.
Because the bar's closed.
No, the bar's open now.
Oh, it's open
now. It was
now.
closed.
There you go.
There was a late start, you know.
Oh, okay. I know that's been on your mind a little bit in the past couple days we've had you up here in the booth.
Well, it's right behind us. I mean,
Just
I can
past.
smell it.
We're just past 2:30 here Eastern time in Toronto. And I mean, we're approaching 30 degrees Celsius outside. The humidity, as we've said all day, has dissipated, but man, it's stinking hot still.
Yeah, it's hot. Where are those fans? I don't know. Bailey's losing stars by the minute here.
Bales is down to 2 now. 3:43 left in period number 1. 6-3 the score in favor of Calgary. And they've got 2 in the box here. Nova Scotia off the timeout will come out 5-on-3.
Shout out to Ian McShane. He's watching the game out west in Victoria. He's playing Victoria Senior A out there.
There you go. I know we've talked about the fans in the building from Nova Scotia. The Nova Scotia team has been one of our best at-home followers, and a moving pick from Calgary. Oh, boy. That's a big call that sends the ball back the other way.
We'll take that,
As
I guess.
they were about to break out 2-on-1 off the interception. Tipped pass, though, into the corner. And I don't know if that was a handball being called by the official, but it's given to Calgary. And possession to the Chill as they were going for the loose ball. They'll start it past the over and back zone, so the shot clock will turn off here. That took 31 seconds off the penalty time, and we'll see what the bench of Nova Scotia tries to do. Oh, they go hard on the ball carrier, forcing him to the boards. Now the triple team, as he gets close to the over and back line, he's able to dump it into the corner before losing possession. And that gets 6 fresh legs, 3 fresh bodies out there in the defensive triangle. Matt Wilson over for Bobby Green. He gave one shout out. The whole province of Nova Scotia wants him now, or what's happening there? I see you checking the phone, but.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to those.
right on the crease from Dalton Brown as Bobby Green up top, down in the crease for Aclanio. One up top is a safety valve, but they're not going to need it as Bobby Green from up top, couple steps backwards. That sub shot that's worked so well in this tournament makes it 6-4, and they're still on the power play for 38 seconds.
Yeah, he's an excellent golfer, too. I think that's the sub shot coming through in multi-sports.
I keep telling my wife, golf is good for you.
Absolutely. It's great exercise, right?
From the outside, Spencer Tangway, an avid golfer. Actually works at a golf course in St. Catharines, Welland, I believe.
It's a great way to get hydrated, too. Lots of liquids on the golf course.
Rock Elite League bringing you free lacrosse of this Founders Cup. Sponsorship days still available. Get in touch with us, jvisportsnetwork.com. Hit the contact page. Look for Ryan or Gary if you're interested in keeping these broadcasts free.
Yeah, it's only a couple bucks. We'll find somebody. Somebody wants this to keep going.
There's been a lot of people in the buildings as we've been inching closer to having to go pay-per-view. People in the building saying, getting on the phone, trying to contact people. So if there's anybody out there, get in touch with us, jvisportsnetwork.com. Our plan was to be pay-per-view by now, but things have actually worked out pretty good for the fans. And the plan was just so that we could cover our costs, as we do want to. Our priority is to keep these free, and if we can get sponsors, we'd absolutely love to do that so we can bring you free lacrosse across the country. The officials make sure the doors are closed here. We did have a bit of shoving and a penalty to Brett Draper down in the corner as Tate Katoni, that is. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody out there can let us know if that's related to the Peterborough Lakers' Holden Katoni of Major Series Lacrosse. As they walk in, take the shot, Trey Carvery. In on Tajiri, who makes the save. As it's now a minute 30 in the power play for the Calgary Chill. Couple cross checks right away out off the bench as they set up their power play horn. Goes to the top shooter, and that one may have gone off the leg of Mallet, reaching up top to drop it down. And just as Drabble touched it, it rolls into the corner. Hard in after it now, Parker Hughes. It's going to be Nova Scotia that'll come away with it. Drabble, as words exchanged on the way to the bench between Adam Connor and a member of the Chill. Big tie up here as Katoni takes a face dive. He goes over the top of Alex Taylor, and Katoni will drag it out as everyone picks up the pieces and gets set up in the box. Big slip there for Calgary. On this side as we're in the last minute of play, 40 seconds left. Here's a shot off the post. And this one's going to get sent down the floor. Reset being asked for. 30 seconds left to go. 1 second between the penalty clock and the game clock. And the game clock's got an extra 2 seconds on it than it does over the shot clock. But this one will reset, and Calgary gets it. Not using their timeout here as they're already up a man. As Katoni over the shoulder, top of the fan, down to the crease, the shot, and Piero the save. Rebound drops down in front of Adam Connor, and they want to push the pace. 10 seconds. They're deep in that as it's launched down the floor. They do get it up over center, but a big hit coming here as Alex Taylor touches up, and the horn will sound. What a first period. A little bit of everything, including 10 goals. Winner secures second spot in Group A. It is day number 3, Founders Cup. free webcast brought to you by JVI Sports Network with our thanks to the Rock Elite League. I think everyone needs a breather after that. Go get something cool and come back for period number 2.
Born of the Huron and of the Mohawk, of the wilderness, of strength and endurance. This is Canada. This is lacrosse. Our country, our sport. Canada's national summer sport, lacrosse.
2017 Toronto Rock season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your seat today for as low as $195 and you won't miss a moment of the action. For more information, visit torontorock.com.
Toronto Rock Athletic Center is pleased to present the Paul Rabel Experience Live. This one-of-a-kind event is coming to Canada's premier lacrosse facility October 1st and 2nd. Bringing lacrosse icon Paul Rabel to Oakville to hold his first ever Canadian camp is the first of many unique events at the track as part of the new slate of programming offered by Track Athletics. Visit rockathleticcenter.com as we are underway here in period number 2. As Aiden Piero sets up camp in the net to our right. And Blake Tajiri remains in the net for Calgary. He's in the zone to our left here as Ben Green tests him early. Another low sub shot. Outside, Green again. As Green works around a check, gets to the top of the fan of that shot. Tajiri making the save. 6-4 after one. Matthew Carrick and Chris Susi upstairs. Spencer Tangway downstairs for this all-important match in terms of Group A standings. The Green Gales have clinched first place. Saskatchewan SWAT will finish fourth. So just for 2 and 3, we'll see who plays who tomorrow in the first stage of the quarterfinal round. Laid into the corner from Alex Bungay. Back Brett Draper again. He's going to send it far side for Connor Aquino. We've been mispronouncing that name all week. We apologize to him and his family as he gets bowled over there. Aquino past the goal line. He gets up into the Calgary player's face, and this one saw some rough stuff early on in the first. And this one, I guess the officials had their conversation as well as they make sure this doesn't boil over.
That was undisciplined. He went back and gave him a shot after for no reason. I think he knew there was a delayed penalty as well. So
high stick and rough, and the second penalty goes to Nova Scotia, so the ball goes to Calgary. And Brandon Sanderson shrugs the shoulders in the direction of Aquino. I'm not sure there's a debate on that penalty or the second as Aquino gets up. As diving through the crease, what's the call? Good goal. Chris Mallett discussing with the official. There's a big oil slick, so they'll call timeout to take care of that.
I didn't see that. I'll have to wait for the replay. The fans showed up. Bailey got second star. Lost the star because it wasn't in here in the first period. But I'm going to set this thing up right now. It is so hot.
Oh, what a good goal. Leaning in.
I missed the replay, too.
As Gardner went off. It looks like that's Jake Gillis on the goal, 88.
These are big, serious fans, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be cool here. Jeremy Bailey coming through. We'll find him. We'll get back to the face-off dot. Talked about the Paul Rabel experience. How about athletic programming that is ever evolving and trying to find good programming is getting more difficult every day at Track Athletics. Director Colin Doyle is trying to simplify the process for you. All of the athletic programming for boys and girls is based on a fun, fast-paced environment that will be ever evolving. A full slate of programs now open for registration, including boys and girls lacrosse clinics and PA Day and holiday camp. For more information, visit TorontoRockAC.com. That's the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Yesterday, free webcasts were brought to you by the Toronto Rock. Today, it is the Rock Elite League, bringing you free webcasts of the 2016 Founders Cup, and the rest of the week is open for rent. If anybody out there is interested in keeping these games live as we head into the quarterfinal, semifinal, and medal round days, get in touch with us, jvisportsnetwork.com, and hit the contact page. You can get in contact with either Ryan or Gary, as Tate Catoni gets bowled over there at the top of the fan, and the ball skirts away. It's going to be a 2-on-1 in favor of Nova Scotia. Looking over his shoulder is Michael Batiste, as that shot rings off the side post as Dalton Brown let it go. As Mallet retrieves it near center floor. Plays back for Bobby Green.
How good is that?
Our number one fan is here. Shot from the outside for Green. Goes into the feet of Tajiri, up out of play. So fresh 30 seconds, 44 seconds left in the 4-on-4 set. As Davis Andrews looks at Connor Green, pardon me. Bobby Green. My goodness, that was rough.
Same thing.
Piero out of the crease, the shot off the iron again as Dakota Wright. He missed the first period. Ben Faulkner started. Aiden Piero coming on in relief. As 3 Nova Scotia players bearing down on the crease and neither of them able to get a shot away. This ball sent to the far side. Leading the charge is Calgary as Jake Gillis taken hard into the back glass. That may be Garrett Hughes, actually, the 98 as opposed to the 88, who now comes off the bench. Down to the crease as a Calgary player knocked over at the top of the fan. He's going to go have words for his Nova Scotia counterpart. And now a couple players coming in off the bench, racing in. PJ Gardner. And a whistle here for a wipe down. After all of that, it's just a towel break. Here down on the floor. So Nova Scotia and Calgary, one of those teams will play Seneca. One of those teams will play, it could be Coquitlam or, sorry, we're kind of looking at them trying to figure this out. Seneca Orangeville will play at 8 o'clock tonight, our primetime matchup, the Seneca War Chiefs and the host Orangeville Northmen. Matches your shirt. Yeah. Seneca War Chiefs, Orangeville Northmen, our primetime match at 8 o'clock tonight. Trying the bounce shot was Matt Wilson, looking to get that one up into the top corner, and this ball bounced up to center floor. I think there's 2 on the floor here. What's happening now is the ball was bouncing around at center. I think we've got 2 balls on the court as Mallet had one. Pretty good hidden ball trick there.
Double ball trick.
As which one's the real one? Tate Katoni has the only one on the floor now as he tries to go over the top of Mallet. And Katoni is probably going to see a heavy dose of man-main coming at him. The rest of this game, dangerously close to the back end. Call there for Brett McGuire as Nova Scotia will bring it down the far side. Played back over here. Alex Taylor lets one rip. And that one trickles through Tajiri. Taking a little bit here, but just about 5 minutes gone. It's now 7-5 as Nova Scotia trying to claw their way back in.
Shoot the ball.
Just through the 5-hole there is found a little space.
Thanks, Bailey. Bailey brought us 2 fans. One looks like a toy, but I got to put it down. Actually, I'm having too much fun with it.
Whatever works.
It won't sit still. Just turn this off.
How about the button there? I don't know. There we go. Up top, Wilson. After Nova Scotia controls the faceoff. Fakes the pass to Gaetan Tremblay. Down in the corner, big hit there. 15 left in period number 2. Wilson will now work to the far side. Aquino steps up, takes the shot, a moving pick up top. And that'll take that shot away as Calgary close to the bench. And no quick restart as 2 balls again on the floor. As Tate Katoni from the face-off neutral zone. Quickly to the crease, though. They got a man on this side. Oh, boy, Piero all sorts of out of shape as Calgary gets one back and regains rather their 3-goal lead.
Defensive breakdown there. I'm not sure what happened. Too many open guys.
Looked like the lead man was on his wrong side, decided to circle the crease and nobody picked him up. Let's see here. As one goes around, the other one doesn't. And that opens the side for Piero and makes it 8-5. As another face-off win, though, here for Alex Taylor coming in. Taylor doing the tap dance outside the crease, and momentum just takes him in, and it'll be a violation. Official checking the floor. As now Tajiri does the same. They say that it's good. Big hit in front as two players roll into the corner. Taylor wants his stick back as Katoni gets up slowly. One in behind everybody, though, reaching back and scores. As Brett Draper quickly off the bench. Everyone was focused on the collision in the corner.
Boys got to keep shooting the ball, obviously.
Both creases now require the towels.
Cowboys might get first star. We'll see.
Well, it's up for grabs after Jeremy Bailey got dropped down.
Second star over there. What is he even doing?
I don't know. He just set up a table behind us last night and said, I'm moving in. Yeah. So he may be calling play-by-play for the gold medal game before this thing gets too long. I don't know.
Put him to work, yeah?
Neil McDonald calls the captains to center. Sure, that's not Green. That's Dalton Brown for Nova Scotia. Had a word with both of them, though. Not sure if it was about the physical play that as the offense has started to pick up, the physical play has kind of taken a back seat a little bit, at least the over-aggressive stuff, as Mackenzie Smith wins a face-off. After about 4 consecutive for Nova Scotia, Katoni saving his coach there as that one was sailing high into the bench. As Tate Katoni pushes it to the half boards. Down into the far corner now. Calgary continues to set up, looking for the interception. Katoni gets it back, and the pass was tipped as he tried to go to Torrin Ecclestone. And running around everybody, getting in the shot here from Alex Bungay. Save from Tajiri, rolls into the corner. Alex Taylor using the boards, gets it to himself, draws the defense over, and now gets it back to the far side. It's a couple big whacks there on Brent McGuire. As posturing up was Gaetan Tremblay, letting that shot rip, and it just bounces back over the stick of Taylor, down into the zone, and Piero will come out. The defense will take the floor. Shot clock will wind down, but can they make something of it? As Tremblay gets the shot, takes a big bump from Owen Ritchie. As play goes back the other way now, Calgary with possession. Take Katoni. Katoni back to the wall. Sends it to the far side. PJ Gardner can't pick up. It bounces down. Piero trying to set the pick. Big one is thrown on this side as there's a tangle in front of the bench, and minor interference down the other way as the Shakers make another appearance. It's Bobby Green. Back for Alex Taylor. Sticks getting up high up top, and Tajiri stepping to his left opens the 5-hole, and maybe Nova Scotia's found something here. That's 2 straight now through the legs. Draper now in discussion, as is Batiste, as a couple of the Calgary players come off the floor. Blackman having words with Garrett Hughes as they hang over the boards. Adam Connor in the ear hole as well. Big whack though off the face-off from Dalton Brown as we focus back to the action on the floor. And now Garrett Hughes will take to the concrete. winds up for the big whack on Alex Taylor, but he gets out of the way. Wilson looking for the cutter, which was Tremblay, and he couldn't catch up to it. Loose ball here, and looking hit all the way was Alex Bungay, and that opens the door for Adam Connor to pick up a loose ball and come back the other way with a fresh 30 seconds.
Yep. I think the boys got to slow it down a little bit, let the defense rest. It's been a quick 10 minutes of play, but
it's been a quick
back and forth.
Quick half hour of play to start this one. It's going to take a lot to beat what Seneca and Coquitlam did yesterday for game of the tournament. As Green just worked around a pick, we get interference in front. As some words is now, I thought Batiste was going after Dakota Wright, but he's just going to stay on the floor and play defense.
Yeah.
That was a big cut left.
Faked him out. Head games.
We'll go with that as Ben Foster takes the ball in the corner. Up top for Joe Gardner now. He puts it in the corner. Big hit there as Zach Fraser stepped on his man. Another Calgary Chill player goes down as they look for contact instead of the ball. It's going to go loose in front of the benches, and it will be Nova Scotia possession, and it'll start at center floor. Running back to get it is Brett McGuire. She'll start right at the face-off circle. And Matt Wilson loses the handle, still can't pick it up as it scoots away from him. Wilson taking two defenders all the way down floor with him, though, as Gaetan Tremblay gets it back. Only 3-on-3 as Tremblay will lift it back here for Taylor, looking between the legs again, and we'll get a high stick call, I believe, against the Chill.
Chance to tie it up for Scotia.
As Dakota Wright heading off. I guess that's a high stick call. I thought that was Rob Cook, but it doesn't actually look like Rob Cook, the official down on the floor. We didn't get our official referee's schedule here today, as we have every other day of the tournament, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. 10 minutes left to go.
That's him.
As Mackenzie Smith. Yeah, Rob Cook sporting the visor. That's right. Yep. They work down to the crease, and Piero just not getting over to that post, and Joe Gardner finds the hole and puts it in.
I wouldn't put that on Aiden.
Short-handed.
How does he get down there? That's not the goalie's fault.
Live TV, Chris.
I know. It's a coach coming out of me.
Save it for JVI After Dark, okay?
I haven't thrown an F-bomb out there yet.
No,
They're doing pretty good.
All right.
Doing pretty good on that.
So far, the only ones we've caught have been, I believe, that penalty box, Mike. But
yeah.
Piero will take a chance to get water. Tajiri did not take the same opportunity. It was offered to him, however. As we've got a jostling for position on the line, and someone's going to get possession here. And it will be Nova Scotia. So an easy face-off win for Dalton Brown. As Bobby Green keeps high along with Matt Wilson. In the corner for Taylor, as now the other lefty gets it. Down low, Wilson back up top. Green spins away from pressure as Owen Ritchie went high. Tajiri with the save, ball goes out of play. It's Calgary up by 2, winner securing second spot in Group A. Aquino. Back for Green again, Aquino again the shot. And Tajiri makes the save, bounces right to Green up top. Right down in the corner, Brett McGuire. Green wants it, and it won't get all the way through. Aquino having to play on Ritchie. Aquino spinning Ritchie around to triple team and spinning his man around into the boards. Nova Scotia will get a penalty here as the whistle sounds. Joe Gardner hard on his man, and we'll get a holding call against Connor Aquino. And maybe lucky that was about it, as that was quickly turning into a dangerous play over on the boards. Up top, Tate Katoni with it now. Will get restarted. Katoni looking for his man on the crease, but one of the Nova Scotia players got a stick on it. Mallet will come up over center. We're 4-on-4 for the next 15 seconds. As Mallet looking for an outlet. He finds Wilson. So they have a man down in the corner, electing to keep it up top with Alex Taylor, though. As Mallet heads off, Tremblay will come on. Brett Draper now switching spots with Dalton Brown. As Brown takes it, feints the pass, and the double team on Brown. He's going to roll it behind his back into the corner. And Wilson can't pick up cleanly. The hit still comes, though, and it will be interference as the shot clock turns off. As Nova Scotia now killing the penalty. Faking the pass all the way up top to Tremblay. Going in the middle, dodging a couple checks there is Matt Wilson, who now goes to Tremblay up top. Gaetan Tremblay. He's been to the same barber, it looks like, as Chris Mallet. Although Tremblay with the red shoes, number 15 for Nova Scotia. Mallet 96. As Tremblay comes off and slams the glass in disgust after causing the interference. Mallet takes the floor with a bit of a limp, it looks like. As we'll keep an eye on him. He's the low man on this side of the crease in the box. The shot comes through, hits Mallet before getting in on Piero. As Jake Gillis wound up. Taken out of the crease, Bobby Green. The one-hand field style cradle will now switch hands, go back traditional style. Gets around another defender. Now will curl out towards the boards. Turns around to face the double team. Bobby Green still with it, stick tied up. And a penalty coming here, perhaps a high stick against Bobby Green. Drawn by Bobby Green, rather, one-handed shovel. As he finds his man coming off the bench, Alex Taylor, sending it into the corner, and a holding call.
I don't understand why he didn't come out of the box.
Penalty has expired, and now they figure it out. Piero had come to the bench for that set. That was a straight deuce, right? There was no 10 there.
Nope, no, he's out now. Connor was in there. Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't paying attention. Pulled the goalie, went 5-on-5. Should have been 6-on-5, right? But he was ball watching in the penalty box. It's okay, he's a good player.
So they get Aquino back on the floor. He will line up in this power play set. Trying to close the gap to one here. Bobby Green from outside. It's in the feet of Tajiri again. Oh, boy. 3 goals already in the period through the 5-hole. And Nova Scotia looking to go there pretty much every time, whether it's a hard or weak shot, it looks like. In here on Blake Tajiri, as we said, his first action here in the tournament. Interception, though. Alex Bungay down and looks to the stick as a slip in the corner from the Calgary player. That draws a few stick bangs from the Nova Scotia bench. May have been Adam Vincent falling there in the corner. It's up for Bobby Green. A fake slash on Aquino. Back up for Green. He'll let rip over the shoulder shot this time, not the patented sub shot he's been going with, as down the floor Tajiri out of his crease with Aquino in his face. As the ball rolls into the corner, contact with the Nova Scotia player. Calgary man driven into the net, which comes way off. And we'll see who the ball is being given to here. Neil McDonald push it into the corner. Joe Gardner. Gardner keeping it. Matt Wilson. Brett McGuire has the loose ball close to the bench, and the face mask is loose on the Nova Scotia man. He's got to head off as we've got another Minor interference. Piero will set up again. If you missed it earlier, coming on in relief of Ben Faulkner. A decent job so far.
Yeah, he obviously coming in cold. Second half of the first period, maybe a couple weak ones that he wants back. Actually, for sure, I was talking to him in between periods.
Watch out here, as there was action down low, and we may have something extra. There's punches thrown, there's gear off, and we're right tight to the benches. Everybody piles in. Here we go at the Founders Cup. As the third official trying to get involved, they're just going to make him stand back and count numbers. As they've got Adam Connor out of the pile. They want Joe Gardner before he gets close to the bench. The coaching staff offering their opinions of the situation. And watch out here, climbing on the top step, Garrett Hughes. He's got something to say to Mitchell Batiste. And we got a coach on the Nova Scotia bench standing on the door. The players want to get on their bench.
That's Terry Baker. He's the trout fisherman. Getting all riled
up. Fingers okay here, and a shove at the benches.
Yeah, we got 3 refs at the penalty box. Nobody's watching the benches.
Yeah.
And you got Chris Millette down there. He's not going to back down from anybody. Boys stick together.
Well, Jeremy Bailey's watching him, but he's way up here along with the head official, Terry King. Good opportunity to shout out Terry King and his officiating crew, who have done, maybe an awkward time to mention it, but a stellar job so far in this tournament.
No, definitely. That was nothing.
And we were commenting on it, the fact that not only has there not been, we've done national tournaments in the past where there's been 1 or 2 referees where you look at the schedule and go, that game's going to be terrible, that one because of so-and-so, but you really haven't said that about these officials, and there's still a couple guys whose names we don't know, which is probably a good thing.
That's right.
In terms of officials. And the fact that, of course,
no, they've let them play for the most part, for sure. And
well, that was going to be my next
tournament.
point. The fact that each referee does have their own individual style, but they've assembled an officiating crew from across the country that has been consistent every single game. A slash in game 1 has been a slash in game 4 with 2 completely different officials from completely different part of the country.
Yeah,
which that's really rare to look at, as Garrett Hughes out of the penalty box. He's going to go down the tunnel here. Or not. He's going to take to the bench.
What?
He's firing up his teammates. We'll wait and see. We had the penalty box mic down there, but it looked like they...
No, he went to the tunnel.
Oh, so he had a few words for his coach and teammates before. Pardon me, that's Joe Gardner. Yeah. 89 as opposed to 98, Garrett Hughes.
That was in the scouting report that you get under his skin, hit him a couple times, and he doesn't like being hit. So
that's Joe Gardner, correct?
Yes, yeah. We knew 89 for the Chill. Definitely knew he was a bit of a hothead, so let's
look at this inside information.
Oh, yeah.
With Mallet down there, too. There was a lot of hair flying on that exchange. Goodness. Well, we've got some time. Another big thank you to the Rock Elite League, who have continued free coverage of the Founders Cup for day number 3. And as minor players, you can join the premier Winter Box Lacrosse League in Canada. A 24-game regular season allows players to keep their skills sharp year-round. Rock Elite League has professional coaching from NLL players and coaches, NLL rules and officials. And it takes place on the turf at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Visit rockeliteleague.com. They are at Rock Elite League on Twitter. Not sure what's happening here. They want something might be happening in the tunnel here. What?
Oh, there's a ball on the floor.
Oh, wow, okay. That was a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Calling for a team official to go down the tunnel. Oh, they had the room key for Calgary Chill. There we go. Investigative journalism at its finest right here at the Founders Cup, ladies and gentlemen, from Orangeville, Ontario.
Got to be good at guessing.
So let's guess again. After that, the penalty clock ticked down 2 seconds. Still in the box. Taylor McNeil, I believe, for the Chill for 10 seconds. As there's a 2-minute minor now up on the board for Adam Connor. We also
I think that might be wrong too, because it's Calgary's ball. They didn't get the penalty up there for Scotia. That's why. Maybe not. I don't know.
We did see Joe Gardner go to the box. Here's what we do know. We are 4-on-4 on the floor. As the clock ticked down a few seconds. Ball brought over the line. There would be no over and back here should Jake Gillis step over. And they'll just wait their 15 seconds to turn it into a Calgary power play. A Rock Elite power play here at the Founders Cup. That shot comes in. Piero makes the save as it drops down and quickly sprinting away. Everyone looks away from the benches as Draper. It was a 2-on-1 and McGuire turns away from that. Put his man in the corner. Big pick there from Taylor as it rolls back. Now Draper having a word with the Chill player. And everyone looking to get involved, but the only one aware was Alex Taylor, who went to the front of the crease and the pass straight to him, but his shot went wide. And that forces Bobby Green back on defense. It's played back up top now. Tate Catoni. Catoni with it. Off to his right side for Gillis. Up top, a big shot coming from Catoni. Found its way through. Piero the save. Another interception though. Here's Bungay down floor. And he's not going to miss a second time. 4 minutes left here. Period number 2, and the lead is cut to 1.
Short handy. That was a good trade, I think.
Bungay, one of the top guys in that set. He's had a couple shorthanded breakaways today. Keep him in mind for your 3-star selections. Been another huge game for Bobby Green, Mallet as well. Tate Catoni always in that discussion. Remind you our players to watch. Parker Hughes from Calgary.
Bungay's great lacrosse family from Dartmouth. I'm sure Steve, his father's watching, and his brother Chris. His brother Chris was on the Pee Wee team this year.
Bungay is just such a great East Coast name, is it not?
Sure.
There's some names you just see and you know exactly which part of Canada those people live in, and Bungay is one of those names.
Yeah.
Big hit in front. Calgary player goes for a bit of a tumble. It's brought back up over center. Not handled well on the far side by Nova Scotia, but Calgary can't get there in time to capitalize. 3.5 left here, period number 2. We're all even now as the penalty expires. And Brown takes the floor for Nova Scotia. Looking to tie things up here. Big tie up in front. The official shakes his head no, that there was no holding. And that's going to cause Dalton Brown to go back at his man. A big chop as him and Dakota Wright get tangled. Meanwhile, back the other way, it's Jake Gillis getting taken hard into the end boards. He turns around and has a word with Matt Wilson. Head on a swivel here in the last 2.5 of period number 2. Stepping towards the crease, but back out. Gillis tied up in front of the crease. Another big collision with PJ Gardner, as it will be picked up now by Calgary, and they send it to the far side. A sidearm rip goes off the backboards. Block shot there as Jake Gillis sends it. Standing in was Matt Wilson. Here comes Mallet down the floor. He'll peel out though. Change developing as Alex Taylor was the first one. Back for Gaetan Tremblay. Tremblay down the far side, around a half pick from Bobby Green. And this one's out of his stick, goes way high off the stick check. Chill player runs underneath, and it's a 2-on-1 back the other way now. Davis Andrews with the shot that goes wide. Big hit, Bobby Green on his man into the boards. And trying to pick up. And being worked over there is the Calgary player. Beats the 2-on-1 out of the corner, and a big slide after the shot. And rebound scoots away out over center. Odd man rush the other way, Nova Scotia. And now the bench, everybody hands up, asking them to slow things down with 1:38. Brett McGuire to the outside. He's got Gaetan Tremblay. Elects to look for the freshman Wilson. In the crease, a spin move. That one sails high. Wilson reaches over everybody to bring it back down. As Matt Wilson backs away from play. Alex Taylor with the screen to the far side. That shot off the back, it looked like, of Eric Peltier. Went way high, and a scrambled defensive set, scrambled offense as well. Ends up in a shot clock violation, and it will be Calgary ball on the other side of this wipe down as the minor players get back out there.
Yeah, as I was saying before we had our little scrum there, Aiden came in relief for Ben Faulkner after a couple quick goals by Calgary, and he's done really well this period for the boys. Told him in between periods, I said that was a good warm-up, for the second half of the first period, and he had his headphones on, focused, ready to go, and he came out to play this period.
It's interesting how different guys prepare in different ways. I read somewhere that Ty Domi used to sit outside the dressing room, didn't want to be part of it, just 3 sticks of gum and stare at the wall. That's all he needed.
Probably punch the wall, get his knuckles tough.
There's Katoni down low, and big collision afterwards, and a pile on there. The goal will count as more shoving. And as they get up and out of the way, Torrin Ecclestone has the 2-goal lead restored for Calgary. And the officials need a conversation again. It is a good goal. Neil McDonald with the confirmation on that. Clears up the first piece.
Checking from behind, penalty to Carberry there too.
So let's watch this one develop. 2 defenders slide up there on the pass as another one that's going to go errant. Let's see here. This should be the goal as it's down on the crease. Towing the line and big collision afterwards. Oh, man. This one.
That'll be a 4-minute penalty there.
This one in danger of boiling over. Hot inside, hot outside, and getting real hot down on the floor. This is only game number 2 of what could be the most important day. Day number 3 of the Founders Cup as quarterfinals start tomorrow. All the way down the floor, bouncing off Calgary bodies is Brett Draper. Has to step over a fallen Chill player, and a couple arms went high on the bench, but no goal there. Is it just a save from Tajiri? It comes with 36 seconds as the entire bench screaming timeout, and then a player turns and signals it. 25 on the shot clock of the Chill, 29.5 left here in period number 3. Still to come at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Coquitlam will play Manitoba. So I believe that's a 4 o'clock start in Manitoba, a 2 o'clock start in Coquitlam. And then Seneca and Orangeville, that one's easy. 8 p.m. all across the board here Eastern time for the Seneca and Orangeville fans. Of course, if you're in the area, get to the Alder Street Arena, as this has been some fantastic lacrosse through the first 2 and what's about to be 2.5 days of the Founders Cup. So this is the Chills timeout. They are, looks like, diagramming a play here for the power play set. And not a lot of conversation on that Nova Scotia bench as a couple players crowded around the fan, a lot of water.
I think they'll use that as a rest break. They know what to do.
I'll send Mallet, Kurt Drabel. Looks like Dalton Brown. And I missed the top far side as they switch the top players on us now.
It's Kirk Drabel and Brett McGuire.
Brett McGuire up top.
Actually,
Tate Katoni.
Grant Blackman's on there.
Nova Scotia now screaming out the field locator call as Tate Katoni gets back down in the corner. Nova Scotia maybe trying some of the mind games as they put it on the crease. And Piero nicely back to his right, was expecting that quick stick shot. And there's 6 seconds to work with for Nova Scotia. They'll just roll it down into the corner. And there is a collision. Tate Katoni takes exception, but that looks like it will be the end of the action. And a lot of action
Great
here
game.
in period number 2. A little bit of everything, including 18 goals, a 2-goal lead here for the Calgary Chill. Second place in Group A on the line. We'll take a breather. We'll be back for period 3 as we continue day number 3 of the 2016 Founders Cup on the JVI Sports Network, brought to you free of charge thanks to the Rock Elite League.
Born of the Huron and of the Mohawk, of the wilderness, of strength and endurance. This is Canada. This is lacrosse. Our country, our sport. Canada's national summer sport, lacrosse.
2017 Toronto Rock season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your seat today for as low as $195 and you won't miss a moment of the action. For more information, visit torontorock.com.
Toronto Rock season tickets are on sale now for the 2017 season. Enjoy great benefits like the ticket exchange program, 2 bring a friend vouchers for any regular season game, and your ticket to the first Rock Home playoff game is included. Ticket starts as low as $195. For more information, call 416-596-3075 or visit torontorock.com. They've been great in partnering with us this week. The Rock Elite League hosting the free webcasts here today, keeping us from going pay-per-view route. Remaining days still available for full-day sponsorship. If you're interested, visit jvisportsnetwork.com and contact either Gary or Ryan as we look for sponsors for tomorrow, and then, of course, the medal round games coming up later this week, so we don't have to go pay-per-view. We'd love to keep these games free, so folks out of town can watch their hometown boys do battle here at the Alder Street Arena in Orangeville. Calgary Chill, Nova Scotia, 10-8 in favor of Calgary after 2 periods of play. Again, something for everybody here in this game as Malik comes down the far side. On his wrong side, elects to take the shot as he leans into another check after the fact. Matthew Carrick and Chris Susi in for game number 2 of 4 on today's free coverage here on YouTube. These games being on YouTube, viewer counts are all there. As Calgary comes in, pushing into the corner. 2 more games here.
Ooh, nice block.
Those of you interested in the sponsorships, the viewer counts are all available. You can see all the Founder Cup games so far, and we will leave them on our channel in the Founders Cup playlist for the entire life of the internet. So, pretty great deal to be had, I would think, as we look to continue to grow the game here nationally. Tajiri.
It's great what you guys are doing.
Appreciate that. As a big whack there on Dalton Brown as he got close to the netminder.
I didn't know if you noticed, but our friend 89, Joe Gardner, did not get a penalty there during that scrum. So we got the only penalty in that altercation.
I did not know that. Because I'm sure if we did at the time, it may not have sat too well with the bench and perhaps my broadcast partner.
Still does not. I don't understand how you can punch a guy in the face and not get a penalty.
And have him take a penalty?
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, it did seem to spark Nova Scotia. They were down by 4 at that point. Have clawed back to within 2 as Aquino still with it with the shot clock off now. As Tremblay coming to help out. Big battle 2-on-1. Just to the right of the Calgary Chill bench, and the official right there to make an interference call, it looked like, on the loose ball. As it's kept up top, and the sticks come alive, the flags come out, and the noisemakers come to life again as the penalty has been killed for Nova Scotia. And Green trying to turn it into a goal, and they do. Trey Carvery. 10-9 now as we get buckled in for what should be a fantastic finish.
Fresh out of the box, you see him point at the timekeeper. He must have said he's going to go out and get one for him.
I told you. Good pickup there from my very impartial partner, Chris Susi.
A little bit biased. It's all right. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, we appreciate the Founders Cup Committee has been helping us out with some color commentators as Spencer Tangway and myself, we looked at the schedule and thought, as fun as 4 games a day sounds in a hot building, we'll probably need a break somewhere along the way. So
there's only so much you can talk to yourself, right?
It's when you start answering,
crazy, yeah.
it becomes a problem.
But you need a break.
Appreciate Chris joining us for all the Nova Scotia games. We understand Manitoba will step in for game number 2. And we've had Orangeville represented for the evening games of our broadcast. As the Calgary man gets run over there, that could have been argued interference, as this is going to be tipped off a Nova Scotia stick before going up out of play.
Shout out to Frank the Tank, who's watching. He's building a shed right now.
Building a shed and watching lacrosse?
Yep.
Wow, look at this guy go.
Just jack of all trades, actually. He does roofs, too. St. FX Lacrosse alumni.
Rushing in, wrong side. He was watching us yesterday, was he not?
Oh, he's been catching every game.
There you go.
Lives in Whitby, but is a massive Nova Scotia fan.
Joe Gardner down the far side. Big chop there and a couple more whacks down in the corner as the Calgary player is down, and not sure there's much of an argument there on this Kirk Drabble penalty as the trainer coming out into the corner for the felled Calgary Chill player. And we'll wait and see what the call is. Calgary's captain already over to the circle to get the word. Drabble waiting to see if he'll be sent down the tunnel. And it looks like the signal was 5 from the Calgary captain. Towel boys getting ready as looks like one of the number 80s will try and get a positive ID on the player in the corner. They only have 4 numbers in the 80s. Kind of an odd numbering scheme for this Calgary team, as I've been noticing. They start at 17, and then there's a couple, they're all double-digit numbers, which you don't see very much in real football styles.
Yeah, they probably got to pick their own numbers. So,
which is pretty cool, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And slowly to the bench. I want to say that's Gardner coming out of the corner. Being told, unfortunately, we don't have a second look there, but Joe Gardner stayed down for a while in the corner, slowly to the bench, and now slowly down the tunnel for the second time. The paramedics have been on site for the entire week, sitting in the stands here. They looked to the trainer if they needed help, and she waved them off, so we'll see if Gardner makes a return, but it is a 5-minute major for Drabble as Tate Katoni gets set up. Goes to the right side. Parker Hughes down in the corner, far side again, and that one off the foot of Mallet. He's trying to jump it out there, the right insole it looked like.
You got to learn to love it, soaking those balls in. You know the ball didn't go in the net if you soaked it.
Here's an over-the-shoulder shot. Piero stands up to that one. And Nova Scotia now having to clear center. They do, thanks to Trey Carvery. Carvery carves the double team and goes in on net. And that one's off the right arm of Tajiri. Bench probably wanting a bit more time killed off that penalty there, but Calgary Chill will get another opportunity with Katoni. Again, a fantastic tournament for Tate Katoni in 2 games so far.
He had that 12-point game against Saskatchewan, turning some heads there.
At one point, he was the tournament scoring leader, I believe, coming into the day. Through 2 games. This one played into the corner. Trying to set up his team for a good second-round quarterfinal match, as this one's over the line, but a 10 count against Nova Scotia as they just got held up at the last minute. Good work by the Chill defenders there. As Katoni now comes out the front door. Looks back to the bench for last-minute instructions as Jake Gillis will bring it up over the shoulder. P.J. Gardner on the right shooter spot. Takes the shot and just off the shoulder of Piero. Almost crouches over that ball to make sure there's no rebound. It drops straight down, and again forcing the issue. The half-court press now for the Calgary Chill. No look pass to the crease. Oh, that's pretty there. Ben Foster to Torrin Ecclestone. And Ecclestone continuing to have a really good game. I'm not sure if that's 2 or 3 for him, but it makes the score 11-9, 3:06 left in the major. That'll be the first goal off that.
Possession's going to be everything in this last 13 minutes. Just got to get out of this penalty kill.
Big hit right by the timeline there as Calgary will get another possession. Again, 1 goal already off the major penalty. And these teams have gone back and forth. Straight up top, a sidearm rip from Jake Gillis. Bounds off the backboards. Now there's a foot race for it. Couple whacks in on the feet for Alex Bungay. No interference call there as Katoni runs in down to the crease. Looking to go cross crease, and the quick stick doesn't work. And Katoni bowled over there by the Nova Scotia player, and the shot clock expires here. No whistle yet. And they do say no shot. Neil McDonald signaling reset. He pointed, I think he pointed down Florida signal. That's where play would be restarted. Watch this again. Big hit as Katoni dropped in looking for the ball. And
you got lucky with one there.
Nova Scotia player. May have been a little head contact there on Katoni as he went down, but
bit of a flying elbow. Gordy Howe.
Officials didn't catch that one as now Green hard into the boards. That one jars the ball free and it bounces straight to Calgary. As they come down, they'll wait for the change. Here with 1:45 left in period number 3. After a raucous second period, maybe the whistle's going away a little bit here. Very tight. Again, this game, a win clinches second place for whoever takes it as they race down. And looking over the shoulder, a couple peeks for Bungay. He shoots high. Again, Tajiri has been letting in the low goals in this game, but he's been standing tall here, period number 3 so far. Chill back with it. 2 men down low on the crease. They let rip from the far side as that looked like maybe Gardner back on. Yeah. And a high stick as Calgary's got the ball, and it will be even numbers as Parker Hughes goes off here. Just 1 minute and 2 seconds left in the minor penalty. There's the big rub.
Yeah, he got crushed there. But he got back up. No retaliation.
(11-9), 2-goal lead for Calgary. As they try and go around the corner, Nova Scotia does it. Pops out at Quano. Not sure where it was. Here's Bobby Green now. Green gets out of the pack, rolls it into the corner again. 4-on-4, so the shot clock running. It's down to 10 as they go to the far side. As Alex Taylor sends it off the back glass. Up to mid-floor, Mackenzie Smith gets in with it. He'll put on the brakes as it was 1-on-1 with Brett Draper quickly out of the boards. Oh, big ice puddle over there. Looked like Bambi trying to regain his legs on that far side. Oh, sidearm shot there. Took a little bit of a left turn from Spencer Gillis after the release. This one's going to be from center floor, launched on goal. 10.5 minutes left here, period number 3. folks, get on Twitter and text your friends. A fantastic finish coming up to this one, free on YouTube thanks to the Rock Elite League. And this is only game number 2. Still, Coquitlam and Manitoba for 3rd place in the other group as Bobby Green from outside.
There's that golf coming in.
Every time he goes over the shoulder, which is the more natural way you teach kids to shoot, it doesn't seem to work out, and then he goes sub shot and it goes in. Every player's got their spot, right?
That's right. Go with what works. Switch it up sometimes, you know. Big games.
And there should be another one through the wickets. Up to Jury. It's about 6 now in the game for Nova Scotia. Apologies again to the Aquino family. His father coming up and giving us the correct pronunciation, as I'm pretty sure I botched it again on that penalty kill.
Yeah, Aquino. You get the idea, you know?
Yeah, the goal is to be as correct as we can, though. I mean, it is your last name, and I've got a weird one as well that people screw up a lot.
Mine's been butchered for years.
So, seeing these kids for the first time, we do appreciate everyone making sure that we do have the correct pronunciations. As the Calgary player dropped there right in front of the Nova Scotia bench, and I think they want a wipe down as it's right in front of the door. The referees won't oblige, at least not right now, as that leaves a couple of players down low.
It's another distraction.
And while they were looking at that door, we get a substitution penalty here for Nova Scotia. McGuire still trying to get the officials' attention. As that slick still not being taken care of, and now finally, as opposed to signaling, Kirk Drabble walks up to Neil McDonald and audibly tells him they want the wipe in front of the door. Understand we've got a conversation here. On Tate Katoni, there was no penalty. You thought the Nova Scotia player may have got away with one. Katoni did duck. You did see the arm pop out as well. There's a lot to dissect going frame by frame. As it happened live, it was right quick too.
It was quick. I mean, the elbow was up for sure, but like I said, I think we got lucky with one there. It's a size advantage as well. He was going quick, but
and
Trey's a big boy.
In this period, I know the second was rough, but they've really let some stuff go. So as quick as that happened, all things considered, the officials letting
That's
that one
going both
ride.
ways. So the other hit in the chill zone against Bobby Green, that could have been been something too,
we've
right?
We've seen that
so
in other situations as well. So it is
as long as it's
is.
consistent both ways.
Tony
cool.
to the far side as Chill arguing for a reset. They're not going to get it. 9 minutes left here, period number 3. 1 goal lead for the Chill as off the start. The Chill were able to cancel an early, I think it was 3-goal lead. That one rides high and no call there. The chin strap pops off and they're going to motion Bobby Green off the floor. He's saying, how do you think that happened?
Yeah.
As Matt Wilson takes his spot. Now a chop as the Nova Scotia player goes down, and it will be a slashing call this time against Garrett Hughes.
We'll call that a makeup call, I think.
I was going to say the high stick looked a lot more dangerous than that slap there, and perhaps got sold a little bit. Chris Millette, we're being told, is also incorrect. As we apologize to him.
Want to call a man bun instead?
I do not. He's your player. You can do what you like. But as I said before, our goal is to get them correct. So we'll try and go with that. Reminder, athletic programming is ever evolving, and trying to find good programming is getting more difficult every day. At Toronto Rock Athletic Center Athletics, Director Colin Doyle is trying to simplify this process. Athletic programming for boys and girls based on a fun-paced, fast-paced environment that will be ever evolving. For more information, visit torontorock.com. A delayed penalty here against the Chill, as now Piero coming out, and Neil McDonald has a penalty, as does Rob Cook. We'll see if it's the same one, as no two Chill players are getting taken off the floor here, as we had one early and then a high stick at the end of that. So stack penalty situations now for Calgary. Just as we showed that replay and said they're putting the whistles away. And Garrett Hughes stands in the box and says something to Neil McDonald and walks out of the box and says something else, and now he's going to leave with 8:35 left, but he should be staying in the box here in case we hit overtime. It was a 10 as opposed to the game. Not sure that's the right call, but Garrett Hughes believes he's been tossed. It was just the 10, as we said. Bobby Green up top. His shot intercepted, though, as here comes the Nova Scotia captain, Mackenzie Smith. Smith rolling back into the corner. He'll turn the shot clock off here, as they'll be shorthanded for minute 20, 30 seconds left in the Nova Scotia penalty. And getting up with a shove after some work being done on the boards, Neil McDonald quickly in between, as Tate Katoni wants the quick restart over on the half boards. And they'll still be nose to nose. Now Bobby Green steps in front of his man and takes over possession in the far side. Tate Katoni getting pushed close to that timeline, forcing the double team. Dalton Brown now coming over to help out. Ball is loose and Katoni gets taken down as the ball popped free. And that may be a quick whistle there, as it takes away Kirk Drabel's opportunity. He already had the motor running. Joe Gardner back out there. Millette on him. Gets taken hard right into the boards in front of the Nova Scotia bench. As the penalty expires, will now be 5-on-3 in favor of Nova Scotia. But the lead is 11-10 for Calgary. 7.5 left to play here. 35 seconds remaining in the first penalty. Rolling into the corner. Penalties are stacked for Calgary here. They've got two running right now, one more to follow as they work in, and a shot, and PJ Gardner taking it, and the save made by Piero. Everyone looking around thought there was another penalty, and it'll be quick restart. Timeout signaled by Nova Scotia, I believe, as the late man called it just as that pass was being delivered down into the zone. Probably would have turned into a 1-on-2, though, against Nova Scotia, but
I think they're okay with that. Sanderson wants to draw up a play here. It's a big time to get a big goal. .16 seconds left on the 5-on-3.
We're scheduled an hour away, 57 seconds away rather, from game number 3. Coquitlam Adirondacks, Manitoba Blizzard, both looking for their first win of the tournament. The winner will take third place in Group B. In our primetime match, the two undefeated teams, Seneca War Chiefs, Orangeville Northmen. At 8 p.m., this building's going to be rocking for that game as the Northman faithful come in. Honoring the back-to-back Founders Cup champions of 1989 and 1990 here in the building tonight.
They went a few years without a junior B program in Orangeville, if I'm not mistaken, with only A ball in town.
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
There were a number of really good players on that double winning squad. I think Pat O'Toole was their goaltender, if I'm not mistaken. Pat Coyle played defense.
Mm-hmm. Pat Coyle has a son on the BC team, I was told, but we couldn't find him. Not sure if he's going by Coyle or not.
So 5-on-3 set here for Nova Scotia. They put one in the middle. Shot there, spun around right at the end. Was Green. And Green wide open, calling for it. He wants it. The quick stick side was there, but he couldn't get stick on it. Into the corner. Catoni shoved into the corner. Pardon me, that's Mackenzie Smith. A 32 as opposed to the 92. And it'll be interference as Brett McGuire thought it was his ball. It'll be picked up by Calgary. First penalty about to expire. Actually, that's the second one as we'll go 5-on-4 now. As Joe Gardner has it. Matched up with Millette. Millette forced outside into the boards. Millette continues to drive. Legs have stopped moving for Gardner as Gardner postures up. Millette, nice job. Close to the over and back line. Now it's dropped. And again, the Nova Scotia player continues the charge.
He's holding the stick the whole time, but.
And they drop down and we'll get another wipe as the players are. You guys say how it is, some sweaty?
So every time they hit the floor, I saw a few players changing their drawers, changing their socks.
We've seen
trying to stay dry.
It was an interesting engineering experiment, trying to watch these guys figure out how they were going to prop their gloves up on the fan to get them dry. And we've met some players and coaches for interviews, and shaking hands is an interesting experience after the game too.
That's it, yeah.
But here is the end of the power play set. They've been shorthanded for about 4 minutes now, have the Calgary Chill. And so far, Nova Scotia yet to capitalize. Putting the brakes on is Ben Foster. Nearing the final 5 minutes of regulation. Foster, big swim move. He's got around the first one, now trying the second over the shoulder behind the back. And that one bounces wide. Big collision again with Catoni. And there's only one player in the Chill zone, and it's the Nova Scotia forward. But he's going to hold up and wait. And too many. One coming in this door and two jumped out. McGuire with his head in his hands. 3-on-2, taken away. And now 24 seconds. Shot clock turns off again for Tate Catoni. And Calgary can kill off what was a disastrous string of penalties. Catoni around the corner looking shorty. He does. 12-10, 5:03 left in period number 3. Catoni's been on the floor a couple times as the Nova Scotia defenders have been all over him. And Catoni finds a seam, comes through shorthanded back end of about 4 minutes of penalty kill time when they were down 5-on-3 for nearly a full 2 minutes.
It's not over yet.
Still posturing for position on that line. Get the sense this is a huge face-off between Dalton Brown and Mackenzie Smith.
Like I said, possession's going to be everything here, especially in this last 5 minutes.
Alex Taylor coming in to help out Dalton Brown. He races into the corner now. Chill player gets there first. One-handed pickup, and the Chill will come away with possession off the glass. Drops down in front of another Calgary forward. As Joe Gardner has a peek for the clock as he crosses center. Big tie-up down here on the near side. Nova Scotia players lost the strap of his bucket trying to do it back up, and he's got to head off here. recognizing, is screaming for the change. And on the far side, Calgary can't control the ball. 4 on their shot clock as it rolls down deep. They're screaming for a reset, not coming. That shot late, in the opinion of the official. 4 minutes and 12 seconds left. JVI Sports Network, free Founders Cup action provided by Rock Elite League. Aquino out to the half boards. Big bump there as a double collision. He's down and looks to be hurt down on the floor. Official not blowing play dead as the double team arrives, takes the Calgary player out. Aquino does get up now as a big hit there from the Chill player, and another one as they continue to fight for this loose ball. Catoni, the Calgary player, chasing the Nova Scotia man. No call from any official as he chased them all the way across the floor. And Neil McDonald says no. Play continues down low as Catoni coughs it up. Out over center. 2 Nova Scotia players come through. 3.5 left. Brett McGuire out to the boards. It comes back for Alex Taylor now. Taylor with a man on him. Cutting in front, Matt Wilson. In front of the Calgary boards. Bobby Green, the corkscrew shot. Bounces, looked like off the foot of Tajiri. Kept alive by Gaetan Tremblay. Tremblay inside the fan, looking 5-hole. And that doesn't hit Tajiri before it bounces out of play. So Calgary regaining possession here, up over center, inside of 3 minutes left to play. Period number 3, 2-goal lead for Calgary. Again, the winner clinches second place in Division A.
Still lots of time left, 2:40.
Between second and third, the difference between playing either Seneca or Orangeville or one of Manitoba and Coquitlam.
That's right. Everybody crosses over, but either way, we're playing BC or Seneca, which are 2 comparable teams. Obviously, the game yesterday went to overtime. Between those 2.
The loser of this game plays the winner of our 5 o'clock game. No, pardon me. The loser of this game plays the loser of our 8 o'clock game. And the winner of this game gets the winner of our 5 p.m. game, I think. As I'm not entirely sure, as we had another huge rip. 2 Calgary players are coming off hurt, and what a play from Nova Scotia. If that was unintentional, that was fantastic.
Looking like John Grant Jr. out
Saskatchewan SWAT players have their jaws down. Oh my goodness. Alex, please tell me we have this. Yeah. We've missed a few. Everyone crowded around. They want to see our monitor. Oh my goodness. This will be the big hit the other way first.
Dalton Brown started it all off.
Oh, that is dirty.
That was great. Still 1 more to go here, 2 minutes.
Well, either way, we found our goal of the tournament. Oh my goodness. For a second there, it looked like he was running through the crease and lost the ball and it rolled through, but on second and third look, that was entirely done on purpose. He knew exactly what was going on.
It's creative.
That's what I don't know in order, but.
Okay.
Apologize as we discuss our 3-star selections up here at JVI Video. Use the hashtag 3stars as Mackenzie Smith lines up for the face-off. He had a turn and a big pump-up cheer for his teammates, but it's won cleanly by Dalton Brown. They get it in the offensive zone. Trey Carberry spins around, shot, standing into Jerry, bouncing between the legs, but he will corral the rebound. Minute 45 left, 1-goal lead for Calgary. Played up here by Mackenzie Smith. As our 3-stars may go down to the wire here. We're not sure of the order. This one launched.
This is like the hardest decision I ever had to make in my life here.
It's a Tangway play up into the second to last row in the stands. As Piero getting the wave to the bench here. Nova Scotia going for broke. They want that second seed. Carvery having trouble corralling it up top.
Oh, I was supposed to give Bailey second star.
Oh, we missed it. Oh well. Alex Taylor in the middle. Getting it back for Bobby Green. That was a while ago. Green keeping it at bay, and they continue to whack, looking for the ball, as we may have more rough stuff up top. Wow, this has been a game and a half right here. You've been treated to some fantastic lacrosse, and again, our thanks to the folks at the Rock Elite League for allowing these games to be free. There's the tying goal. They circle the crease, and Nova Scotia's come all the way back. Cowbells, shakers, and flags are out in the building as it's 12-12, but there is still 59.1 on the clock. The man circles the crease, Tajiri reaching low, and they go high.
Matt Wilson's had a great tournament too yesterday.
What a
Obviously,
touch.
he's probably player of the game on the floor, our second star.
What a touch from Wilson. They come together in front of the benches again. Nova Scotia player Millette pushed into the bench, and that had nasty written all over it. Millette close to the too many men, as now someone else tries to jump over the boards. They already have 38 left on the clock though. Catoni down low. Back up top for Gillis. Gillis takes the shot, and Piero stands in. We got a tie up in the corner. Nothing more comes of that. The official right there. Nova Scotia outlets it to the far side. 2-on-1. Bobby Green off the bench. Bobby Green looking for the pass, and they keep it to the shooter as Alex Bungay ripped one off the backboards. Rebound bounces all the way to the timeline. 15 seconds left here. Played deep in the zone. No timeout yet from Calgary. Brought in, sidestepping here, Owen Ritchie. Ritchie pushes far side, Tate Catoni, 3 seconds, 2, Catoni keeping, 1, ripping wide, and we got overtime, second day in a row.
I predicted overtime. I predicted it. Do I get a
Chris
star?
Susie, I want lottery numbers as well.
90.
Ladies and gentlemen, catch your breath. 10 minutes on the clock, we'll play sudden death. On the other side of this break, you're watching Founders Cup action on the JVI Sports Network, provided by Rock Elite League. Oh my goodness. Group A standings as we're back. Matthew Carrick and Chris Susie in for the JVI Sports Network, Nova Scotia and Calgary. You can see in the first two games, not much between them as they both a +5 and a +3 and a 1-1 record. They play each other for the right to play second and third in the crossover game. You can see that would either be Seneca or Coquitlam if they ended right now, but Coquitlam and Manitoba still yet to come, along with Seneca and Oakville. And our shout out Chris Millette, his father serving overseas in the Canadian military. HMCS Charlottetown, them and their crew, coast to coast and then some, here on the JVI Sports Network.
Obviously, Mitch Hannigan's watching too. I think he's living in St. Catharines right now. He's the one who provided us with that information.
And of course, a shout out to all our troops, not just HMCS Charlottetown. National championship here in Orangeville at the Alder Street Arena. Tied at 12, 10 minutes on the clock. It is sudden death. Next goal wins. Brett McGuire into the corner. Back up top, Trey Carvery. Everyone buckle in, but keep the seatbelt loose in case you want the edge of your seat. As Alex Taylor pushes far side, Carvery in the middle, uses his big frame. I thought he had it, but it's picked off by Calgary as they go down this far side. Tate Katoni, he puts the brakes on. Wait for the change to complete. Parker Hughes into the corner. Cutting through, a couple fakes there, and there it is. Is that Garrett Hughes? And Piero is down in the crease. Took 56 seconds, 13-12 is the score, as Calgary will capture second place in the division.
Hell of a game, though.
Oh, absolutely. Goodness gracious. I think that one may have beat Coquitlam and Seneca from yesterday. Even though they went to overtime as well, the comeback from Seneca, just this game had a little bit of everything. It was ferocious at times. It was some fantastic goals. But this is the one that ended it all. 56 seconds into overtime, a huge fake as Joe Gardner makes it count. And that gives the Calgary Chill the victory and second place in Group A standings. They will face the winner of the Coquitlam Manitoba game coming up next. Scheduled for 5 o'clock Eastern time. That's only about 39 minutes away. And Nova Scotia still in the tournament, but they enter the quarterfinal round in the crossover, facing the loser of our 8 p.m. primetime match between the Seneca War Chiefs and the Orangeville Northmen. Our 3-star selections, as they do player of the game in-house. We went with Bobby Green, but maybe that should have been changed to Joe Gardner late at the last minute. There were so many players we could have picked here, but Bobby Green and his leadership, we thought Alex Bungay was really good, and Bobby Green is named player of the game for Nova Scotia there. But Torrin Eccleston for the Calgary Chill, I believe he had the hat trick, and just a fantastic game there for Calgary. And Ben Foster actually named player of the game. He looks shocked to come out of the line as the Calgary Chill player of the game, but it is what it is. We don't have a lot of information on Calgary, but he definitely looks to be one of their younger players, just based on that picture alone and nothing else.
Oh, he's happy.
But this is, goodness, a squad that looks like they've won it all now. The Calgary Chill and a dejected Nova Scotia team heading off the floor, but they will live to play another day. Nova Scotia in action tomorrow. But coming up next, Coquitlam Adonax, Manitoba Blizzard will fight over 3rd and 4th place in Group B on the JVI Sports Network. Free coverage today being brought to you by Rock Elite League. On behalf of my partner Chris Susi, our director Alex Brazo, producer Gary Morrison, folks, will talk to you in about half an hour's time. Go grab dinner and be back inside the Alder Street Arena. It is the 2016 Founders Cup.
She's not conceited, but she knows she's a diamond. She's legal, tender and fine. This a she picked me pocket, but committed no crime. She's legal.